Mhm.
All right. Hi, guys. It's Jazzy J. I know it's been a minute since I've been up here, but we are back. And tonight we have a special guest. All you P Valley fans, all you Wire fans, all you Equalizer fans. We have none other than Miss Shamika Cotton in the building. Welcome.
Hey, hey, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being a part on this platform. So, Miss Cotton,
Mhm.
let's go ahead and kick things off, get into the nitty gritty.
Okay.
First off, we all love you as Farrah, okay?
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely adore you. So, can you tell us how did you start acting?
hmm Well, I've always been an artistic and creative person. My mom told me this fairly recently, like within the past, I feel like 3 years, like during the pandemic, at some point, I think my mom was like, "Oh, by the way, when you were 3 years old, you told me you were going to be a movie star." I did. So that, I find that very fascinating. Um, and that's why when I'm like around like my nieces and nephews or just around kids, especially that are little, I like to ask them, what do you want to be? What are you here to do? Because they'll tell you. And it's just very special to me that my mom remembered that. And it was like a source of reminding me of my purpose, of why I'm here. And it also like reassured me that yes, I'm making the right choices. I'm in the right business. I made the right decision to become an actor. But so in elementary school, I was always doing things like ballet, tap, baton, anything that had to do with performing, playing the flute. And then my fifth grade year, we went to see a student matinee production of a show called Oliver Twist. And the show was at this school in Cincinnati called the School for the Creative and Performing Arts.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to see this show, and I remember the feeling of, I want to do that. Whatever they're doing, I want to get up there and do that. And so I told my mom, and she set me up with an audition, and I got into the school. So then I had like my beginning training of being an artist, being an actor, doing things like musical theater and things like that, understanding what it means to rehearse and study and really start to commit yourself to the discipline of being an artist. But by the time I got to around about the 10th grade, I decided I wanted to do something different. And I wanted to kind of hang out more with like my friends and stuff who didn't go to the art school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I changed to kind of focus more on academics. And that's when I discovered that I was good in math. So I kind of took a moment and got my engineering degree. But by the time I finished college and graduated, I had the acting bug came back. And so
Right.
when I graduated, I said goodbye to engineering and I moved to New York City.
Oh, wow. Fascinating.
Mhm.
So let's get into let's not do Farrah. Who
Okay.
is Shamika Cotton? Tell us about who Miss Cotton is.
Okay. Well, I'm just a girl from the Midwest. I was born in Cleveland, raised in Cincinnati, and I am an artist. I'm an artist. I love anything that has to do with creating, telling stories, creating experiences that are expansive. Um, I love living an inspired life.
Great. So who was your inspiration growing up?
Oh, my inspiration growing up. Oh my gosh. Hmm. I don't really, I don't know if I had a particular person
Mhm.
that was my inspiration growing up. I know I was oftentimes fascinated
Mhm.
by things, like just when you see someone doing something that looks fun or looks like they're operating at a level of excellence, it draws you in. When you see someone exercising their gift, no matter what it is, if it's gymnastics or something athletic or um, or anything. It just kind of draws you in, or it inspires you to want to find out what is that thing that is just yours to do, or that thing that makes you stand out. So I think that there were just a lot of inspiring maybe events and stuff that led me on my path. I don't have anything per se in particular from being a kid. I know now I find my inspiration in many, many things. I was just on Instagram, and Holly Robinson Pete, she was currently at the Vogue fashion show for New York Fashion Week. And I was pondering these questions, and I was like, being there in that experience, it's electric. That's inspiring, right? It inspires me to want to be free and to express myself and to express some level of excellence in artistry. I went to see the Tina Turner musical before they closed.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And all of the artists and the performance and the show, that was inspiring. Like, I think it was Kayla Davion who was playing Tina Turner that day. And then I immediately had to go follow her on Instagram and see everything I could find about her. And just hearing her story of how she got the role and how performing the role for her is basically an act of faith, or an act of belief, and believing in yourself and knowing that you can do that. So when you see someone operating at that level, it inspires you. Just there's this innate thing inside of us that connects and gets turned on when we see it happening in someone else.
So let me ask you this. So Farrah, let's go back to Farrah for a minute. So first off, how did you even get into the role of Farrah?
How did I book it, or how did I start to prepare the character?
How did you prepare the character for Farrah?
Okay, right. So, first of all, the character, it's written. She was written so beautifully, and you have this wonderful world that is P Valley that also informs the character and the world that she lives in, and the experiences that she's going through. And based on the script that I was given, and it tells you about the character based on the decisions that she makes and where she finds herself in life in that moment that we meet her. I decided I wanted to work with my acting coach to make sure that I created a multi-dimensional human being that was anchored and based in truth, like finding out what is Farrah's truth,
right?
And how can I connect to her truth as Shamika, and what parts can I use from me, and what parts will Farrah give me to play her. So I went on a road of discovery, just taking little things that I knew about her, or backstory that might not have been written in the script, just going into my imagination, going to what I know to be true about human beings and about the human experience, and creating those moments and exploring them with my acting coach, and then getting on set. And that gives you a whole nother dimension. You have the hair, and you makeup, and you have the beautiful condo that she was in. That tells you and informs the character. So many things come into play when you're creating the character, but first it starts with the writing.
So being that, we're on season 2 of P Valley, will we see any more of Farrah in the upcoming season?
Did it get greenlit for season 3? Do you know something I don't know?
Oh, that's what we're trying to find out. Do we got an upcoming season?
Girl, I'm waiting to, like, when y'all gonna send me a message? We don't know yet. We don't know. I mean, I'm hoping that there's a season 3, and if there's a season 3, I hope that it includes me. Hey, okay. So I don't know. I would like to think that Farrah would come back in some way if there were a season 3. I can definitely see many ways that she could come back, but it's ultimately up to Katori and their writing staff and stars to see, what they want to do next.
We've seen so many behind the scenes footage of the P Valley family and how you guys all come together and, root each other on. Was it really like that for, everybody on the set? Were you really as tight as they show?
It's a family. It is absolutely. And I think that one of the things that allows the show to have such a deep impact is that the people that work on the show, from the top down, are so committed and connected to just telling a show that is authentic. And the only way that you can do that is to have that level of authenticity in yourself, right? So that you can bring it to the production. And just, when you have people like Nico and Brandy and Elarica and Shannon and who am I missing? Little Murder, Jay Alphonse, when you have them, Harriet Foy, as, and of course, Loretta Devine, these are these are artists that are so connected to more just than the industry. They're connected at a deep level to a sense of purpose and intention and artistic integrity. And so they make sure to create an atmosphere and hold a space that everyone is welcome and supported and has what they need. So yes, it is absolutely true. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of love. It's a lot of heart in art.
That's awesome. So we were just speaking behind the scenes a little bit about The Wire
Mhm.
and the anniversary. Tell us, first of all, how did you prepare for that role of Michael's mom?
That was my first foray into immersing myself into being a character and what that meant. Um, because before that, the stuff that I was doing, it wasn't so far away from who I was. But to play someone like Raylene Lee, who we know had a drug addiction problem, was a mother of two boys, and all that was her life. At first, I didn't think that it was something that, not that I couldn't do it, but would it be believable? So
Right.
what I ended up doing is immersing myself in, like, overnight pretty much, and just studying what are the behaviors of someone that has this drug addiction. What is it like when they're on the drug? What is it like when they're not actively high? And just driving around the neighborhood with a friend I had at the time, looking for people to talk to or to observe, and then using my imagination, using people that I've met in the past, and creating this character, and then just living with it, even all the way on the train from New York to Baltimore, staying in character, maintaining that physical condition, as it was very immersive in a short amount of time. But that was my first foray into just immersing myself. I showed up in the audition room, and I remember folks looked at me when I walked in like, what is wrong with this person? Did they really call in a real drug addict? Like, I didn't take a bath or anything. I think I might have just brushed my teeth, but I didn't wash my face. I just made sure I just looked a mess. I had on rundown clothes. I had pieces from my apartment that I was gonna like sell, that I was like, I would sell if I was trying to make money. And I had a Lucy and everything. So I went in there fully immersed.
So being that, we lost one of the powerful actors from that great, which I say is still a classical show. How did some of the actors and actresses that worked with him, how did you guys take that?
Michael, losing Michael, that was tough. I think for me, because the level that I knew him, like I wasn't very close with him. I knew him kind of, the Wire adjacent. I would see him out. We were Wire fam, always kind and welcoming and embracing. But I didn't know him at that level to know the things that he was struggling with personally.
Right.
So the way that it affected me was this sadness to know that this person who I had just watched and admired and loved craft country do an amazing performance just wowed me at a very deep level, to know that underneath it all he was hurting, in a way that he had to take drugs to kind of make it through.
Right.
That was really hard to wrap my mind and my heart around, and that really really pained me to know that someone could be suffering so much and you not even know.
Right. Um, what's the best part of being an actress to you?
I think the best part of being an actor for me is the journey the characters and the projects take me on to understand more of who I am. Usually, if I'm working on something and I'm having a hard time connecting to something, or I'm just trying to find my way in, there's this really wonderful gift that journey into the character gives me into myself
Mhm.
to find out, well, let's re-examine this moment in your life. Or if there's a moment that was painful, or that I can use it, figure out a way to express it, and kind of alchemize it and turn it into gold through my character, through telling the story. It's just, for me, acting is, it can be very cathartic. It can
Mhm.
be therapeutic, but not therapy, right?
Mhm.
It's therapeutic, but you still need therapy, which is
Right.
wonderful. Um, and it's very purposeful. When you see the impact that your work has, when I see the impact that my work has, and how people embrace the characters and the conversations that develop from my work, from my art, it makes me realize that there's a deeper way to live. There's a bigger life to live. And that's what I get to do with my art.
Wonderful. So, how does it feel to you that your farrah character has made such a huge impact on our culture right now?
Wow. When I first got the role, I was excited. I was grateful. I was grateful to be working, and now I'm going to be working on this hot hit show. That was great. And that was a blessing to work with the people, that I worked with. But what I didn't realize would be the hidden double blessing was the interaction with the Pink Posse, right? Like
Hmm.
the people who watched the show
Hmm.
and the conversations, and seeing how invested they were in
Yes.
Farrah's story, and hearing people say, "Oh, I can relate to that," or
Hmm.
"I see myself in that." Um, being just it's very very humbling, and
Hmm.
very it's cool. It's all that. It's all that, and it's just yeah, just very very grateful.
Great, because Farrah's character from there's because there's multiple groups. There's people I have. The P Valley is have we're having conversations that we didn't have before. You know, especially about you, Coach, and Mercedes. I mean, we were not for nothing. Everybody was rooting for you and Mercedes. We were rooting for you guys.
Okay. Right.
Okay, it was refreshing to see from the perspective of the wife how she feels in the relationship of her husband having all these affairs openly and so freely and charismatic, to see the wife now, hey, I want to play now too. It
Right.
was so refreshing to see that. Was that an eye opener when you first read the script for that particular scene?
um Now, I knew in the beginning that Mercedes and Farrah would develop a relationship.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't say that was eye opening. I think what was eye opening, or that I found really interesting in finding Farrah, was discovering how much she had repressed her own self,
Mhm.
how much she had sacrificed in order to maintain this semblance of this marriage to
Mm-hmm.
this wealthy man who this high profile. Like, to be the woman that's like, okay, I have these contracts, that there are contracts that I manage in order to protect our lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow. Talk
Yeah.
about, the grass is, all that glitters is not gold,
Right.
right? That was really eye opening, knowing that Farrah is not like an isolated case, that this is happening. You're seeing someone who looks like they have it all,
Mm-hmm.
but what is really underneath all of that? Oh, look at that. Huh. That's our mess back there. But Iphigenia, and it's so funny. As we said, what's behind it all? Farrah,
Uh-huh.
all of this. Okay, since we're here, Farrah, all of this is actually okay. See, it's magical moments like this that happen when you're an artist or a creative person, where
Mm-hmm.
you can say, "Oh, that's a coincidence," or "Oh, you kind of brush it off," right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take this moment. I'm gonna tell you what this is, okay? What
Okay.
this is my gratitude altar.
Okay.
These are all the things that remind me of why I do what I do. You
Wow.
know, it reminds me, and I'm just so moved. And that's what it is about this work, the art and the journey. It moves me. It keeps me like alive and just present. So to be able to share that, we have like over here, behind this is a poster from a reality show that I did early on in my career. I don't know if you saw it, but this was from a show called Soap Star.
Okay. Okay.
We
You
all were, yes.
I remember. I do
There I
remember.
am there,
Wow.
competing to get a contract role on a soap opera. This is from a
Wow.
wonderful show I did called Still Asking for It. It was a show that kind of opened me up to be able to do Farrah.
Oh,
In
okay.
this show, I had to pretend that I was a stand-up comic doing
Mhm.
stand-up comedy, but we were naked from the waist down, literally,
Wow.
right? And we were telling jokes that beg the question in a society that is rape culture, that blames the victim,
Mm-hmm.
that says that because she was doing this or that, she was asking for it, right? And so what we did was, we were comedians. We told jokes. We had guests come on stage,
Mm-hmm.
and told jokes and had monologues and told stories. And it was like we were getting drunk, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing people say. She was asking for it because she was drunk. Oh, the
Right.
way she was dressed. Oh, so we had nothing on from the waist down, right? So we had
Wow.
all these things where we're asking for it, but at the end of the night, no one is raped unless there's a rapist, right? So it
Right.
kind of examines that. But yeah, that's so funny. This is what is behind my curtain. It's
That's
just all these things
wonderful.
that I use to remind myself of the gratitude in my journey. So
That's wonderful. That is wonderful to see. And that's what I think makes you so relatable
mm,
to your fans. Because
oh,
I mean, deep down, I mean, you're a real person, of course, but when we see these actors and actresses play some of these parts, yeah, we know they're playing a part, but for you to actually be on your journey and what you're thankful for each part, it's amazing.
yeah.
Amazing. Which out of all of your parts, because you've been on the Equalizer as
hmm
well,
hmm
out of your entire career, which is your favorite character you have played?
Oh, it's Farrah. It's Farrah right now. At this point in my career, it's absolutely Farrah. I got a chance to take some amazing risks
Mm-hmm.
and to tell a story over, a series of episodes, to go on a
Mm-hmm.
journey. It's absolutely Farrah. I don't know, God, how we gonna top this. I can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah. Now, your character was heavily into photographing, and is that a passion of yours in real life as well, or?
No, not photography.
Hmm.
No. But I think photography is a way of telling stories with images. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes, in terms of capturing life and telling a story and doing it in a way that showcases humanity, absolutely, I can relate to that because that's what I do, film, TV. Those are, basically visual images that are similar to like photographs. So I definitely can relate to that. Um, what I really loved about the Mercedes experience, I guess I can show. Yo, you guys, I stole this from that.
Oh, wow.
It is so great. It's just a memory that has all of the wonderful pictures. Brian, I hope they don't be like, can you send that back? I lost it. No, but what I really loved about that as like that part of Farrah and Mercedes' journey is that Farrah was able to give back to Mercedes what Mercedes had given her, which was an opportunity to see herself and to reconnect with
Yeah,
who she was. And so it's just well written, like chef's kiss.
it was. It was. To the upcoming actors and actresses who have followed your journey so far up until this point, what type of advice would you give to them?
Ooh, I guess the first thing that comes to mind is something that I tell my niece, Cheyenne, who was a student at Baltimore School of the Arts. So I'm very proud of. She's in her senior year.
I know that's right.
Um, mhm. What I tell her is that being an artist and especially an actor, you are an ambassador for the conversations that are created based on your art, right? Like a lot of times we see celebrities, they go on these talk shows and they talk about the work and they talk about the journey. That's what it's about. When we do a theater project, we have talkbacks where the actors talk about the themes of the show or what it took to create it. Like that is important to understand. So, it's not just about, oh, look at me, I want to be seen, but no, I want to hear your thoughts about, the world of the play that I just was living in with you or the character. It's about more. So, allow your art to lead you to play bigger and fuller in life, go deeper. It's such a more rewarding journey
Hmm.
when you find a deeper meaning to it. Uh, so um, so look for that. Go beyond the surface of the red carpets and the swag and being treated like celebrities. It's greater when you go deeper into the themes and the stories that are actually life changing for people. That's what's important, at least to me.
That's wonderful. So this is a question I ask everybody that has come on this platform, and I'm going to ask it to you.
Okay.
Tomorrow is never promised, so we always live our days as if it was our last.
Yeah.
If you left this earth tomorrow,
Okay.
what would you want your legacy to be remembered as?
Okay. All right. Here we go. Um, to I want people to know kind of, what Farah was, that your dreams matter and that they are needed. And that just like Farah or P Valley or any of the characters on P Valley had an impact on people's lives, know that your life, you answering whatever dream or calling that is on your life, it matters because somebody is waiting to see you do that so they can be inspired to do that. And by everyone doing that thing that they are specially called to do, that is how we make a better world for everyone. If everybody says, I want to show up for that thing that only I can do, and I want to do it well and do it in service, do that. Find out what it is and do it because we need you. The world needs you.
That was amazing. It's a great answer. So what's next for you, Miss Cotton? Where else can we see you? Any shows coming up? Any movies?
Yeah. Let's see. So I just wrapped another show. I had a wonderful recurring role on a show on BET Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So we just finished our season, and we're waiting to see if there'll be another season, and then hopefully my character will come back. So that'll be 2023. It'll be out later next year. Also, I have a show, and I can't say the names because all of a sudden these days, the networks and the shows want to announce you when they want to announce you.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
cool. Which is all cool. And so I have another show that's going to be on Apple TV, another
Okay.
wonderful role. And that story is going to have amazing conversations about what do you do when you have something devastating happen in your life that totally is life changing? How do you go on after that? How do you find community and begin to rebuild your life? That story, you'll know it when it comes out, and once I'm able to say. But that's going to be some amazing conversations that we need to have right now.
It's funny that you say about amazing conversations because you also host a podcast of your own where you do the Chronicles.
Oh, the
And I just want to know how did you start off by doing that?
So how do I do the Chronicles or the Shamika Chronicles conscious?
Well, both, because you have two different ones.
Right. Okay. But they're all under Shamika Chronicles. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was back in like 2006, right? Now, mind you, this is before everybody walking around doing this. All right.
Right.
So at the time, like I had a camcorder and I was just like, I had just come off of Soap Star. Right. Mm-hmm. And so that was a reality show. So my idea was that I was going to document. Did we lose you? Did we lose the host? Hold on. She'll be back. Hi, y'all. Something for the culture with just me until Jasmine comes back. I'm going to wait to finish this story until she comes back. Oh, wait, we can see people. Hey, Dr. Brenda. Oh, look at that. You asked that a few minutes ago. Absolutely. We'll talk about that. Hey, Brenda Perkins. How y'all doing? Let's see when she'll be back. I wish you guys were on here to chat so I can talk to y'all. She's back. Hey.
There I am.
Yeah.
All right, as you were saying.
Yes. So I was just coming off of Soap Star and I wanted to document my rise to stardom, right? Like I was like, after Soap Star, we got The Wire popping off. My career is about to be on and popping. So I wanted to document it and share with people what the journey of being an actor was like. And so I would go to auditions and document it, and people would be like, what are you doing? Why are you recording yourself? You're so silly, right? I'm telling you, 2006. And so I did it for maybe 2 years, right? And then we had the writer's strike. Mm-hmm. When the writer's strike happened, work was like at a standstill. There was no auditions happening. Wow. And that momentum that I was expecting to have, it petered. Yeah. It petered away. And so I tried to keep the Shamika Chronicles going as long as I could and tried to figure out, and this is before Instagram, you guys, okay? Mm-hmm. Before Instagram. And so I was trying to figure out, this is even before Facebook, because at one point I was doing the Chronicles on MySpace. So, wow. And so I couldn't think of anything else to show because it was like, it wasn't, for me, it wasn't the actor's journey. It was like me just being a temp, trying to make money and trying to get auditions and stuff like that. Right. And so I kind of let it go. And then I decided after a few years to move it over to Instagram because Instagram became the thing. Everybody was all about having shorter pieces of content to consume. And so I thought, okay, great. So that's why I created my Instagram, which is Shamika Chronicles. So that is the updated extension for what was my YouTube channel. And then from there, when I was doing P Valley, I had this idea that I wanted to. I'm a student of like metaphysics, and which is kind of like, law of attraction stuff and alchemy and new thought. I love having those kinds of deep conversations. And I was like, wouldn't it be great if I could hear someone's perspective on P Valley, but from that metaphysical or a deeper perspective?
Right.
And I was like, man, where can I get that? And then it was like, oh, I guess it's going to be me. So I asked one of my spiritual teachers, Reverend Cherie, to if she would join me and have the conversation. And so I basically created a space that I wanted, and that's how Conscious Conversations came about. So the Shamika Chronicles is just an extension of me being able to express myself, to share my thoughts, and to share my art, and to facilitate conversations.
I will say this since P Valley has come along, because this has also been a conversation topic throughout the groups and the Pink fans. Because the cast is nothing but brown skinned girls, dark skinned girls, all different layers of chocolate. And we love it. We are here for it. But it also is giving us a chance to talk more about sexualities and, what we like, what we don't like, or what, you guys are doing an amazing job with this whole platform, especially this season. I would love to see where you guys take it next season. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that we can see Farrah come back, because we want you to come back. We do. Yeah. We do. What I also would like to ask, because you also had been on the Equalizer as well, tell us a little bit how that was working with Queen Latifah, because she's on the Equalizer. There's not many people know, but
yeah, she is the Equalizer. She is phenomenal, and I love this role for her. If someone were to say people that I've worked with that really inspired me, it would be between Queen Latifah and Brandy Evans, who plays Mercedes. Mm-hmm. But in terms of Queen Latifah, there's something about how she embodies fully her presence. She just fully embodies it, and she's present, and she's kind. Mm-hmm. And there's kind of like a quiet strength that's there. When I was there, of course, the Equalizer, she's number one, on the call sheet. It's her show. Mm-hmm. And just seeing her carry that with such grace. Mm-hmm. With such grace, and to be able to show up, like, I think I must have been there for at least 10 hours. It might have been 12. It might have been overtime. Mm-hmm. And she was there all day and in a wonderful mood and very just open to the artistic exchange, where she just met me. Whatever my character gave, she was right there to give her offering. Mm-hmm. And that was really powerful to behold, to see her just occupy that space and be present. And it also spoke to me about how you can do it with ease. Mm-hmm. When you're fully yourself, being authentic, it's an ease about how you do it. It's an effect that you have on everyone that's contagious and makes everything just go smoothly. So, yeah.
I agree. I met her years ago on 125th in Harlem. This was back in her UNIT phase days, when she was hanging with Naughty by Nature. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget it. It was her and Vinny. They hopped out of the limo. My grandparents was like parked right behind them. Mm-hmm. They hopped out the limo. And I think she was going into the hair store at the time. And so I hopped out. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Queen Latifah. She was so nice, so patient, just a lovely person. Mm-hmm. And I think she was the first time I ever met like a female rapper, and she was just a lovely person. Very nice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you said you have some things coming up for BET Plus that we're going to see that you can't mention. Is there anything else for Miss Cotton that we also should be looking for?
Well, right now, my company, 1010 Talent and Creative Services, it's a media company. Right now, we're actually doing interviews for our internship program. So
Okay.
that's pretty great so that we can get more things out there in Shamika Chronicles all over. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. So you guys, we're not going to hold Miss Farrah, Miss Cotton any longer. Where can we, watch any upcoming episodes of the Chronicles? Where can we find that at?
Everything is on Instagram. Instagram is Shamika Chronicles Central. Yeah, and there's always YouTube to watch the previous episodes, the beginnings of Shamika Chronicles. But right now, we're really just focusing our attention on Instagram.
Okay. Awesome. So
Mhm.
you guys go over to Instagram. Please follow this lady. I promise you will not be disappointed. She talks about amazing stuff on her podcast because I have watched a few things. But I want to thank you so much for taking your time out to come on Something for the Culture. I
My
mean,
pleasure.
P Valley is part of the culture now. You guys are literally on the map right now.
Hmm.
And we thank you for this show. It's brought so many things out to the forefront in our community that we needed, such as homosexuality, such as these talks of domestic violence, and we needed this. We did.
Hmm.
So I
Yes.
want to thank you personally for your character and your involvement on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank y'all for watching and being a part of the journey.
Thank you, and we'll hope to have you back when your new shows start.
I would love to come back and talk about it. You let me know.
All right. Well, guys, we will see you next episode. And I want to thank you again for watching Something for the Culture. I'm your host, Jazzy J. And you guys have an amazing night.
Bye.